Hello, my name is Deborah Rudd, and this is my software project. And I chose Tinkercad. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my research, and then I will discuss Tinkercad. First of all, what I did is when we were purchasing our 3D printer, I was looking into different software that we could use. MakerBot, which is the website right here I have, is the company for the 3D printer we have. So it recommends some different applications here or software for the the MakerBot. So the one thing is we have to keep in mind whenever we purchase something is we have to make sure that there is software that is online because we are a Google school, which means we have Chromebooks. So everything must be online. Chromebooks cannot have anything installed on them. So as you can see, I went for the Tinkercad. I looked at that because, we were using it at the library. I had seen how it worked. It seemed simple enough. When I took the seventh graders on the field trips for a couple years, and then I start looking into it myself. It had to be something that I could understand myself. I'm not an expert at this, so I needed something that I could learn and then teach. So then that's where I chose Tinkercad. So I'm going to go into Tinkercad, and to get in this, you just sign in. You can use your Google account to sign in, and make sure you select an educator. I like the Tinkercad. It has lessons in it, so that helps a lot. And it has just a lot of online things. If you need any help with anything, you can go to YouTube for additional information. So you have, when you go into it for your profile here, you have 3D designs, you have circuits, and you have code blocks. Now, we have really been just focusing on the 3D design. I don't have any circuits right now, but that is something you can always add to your program if you would like. And code blocks. This is something, because this is only our second year using Tinkercad, and because of the wonderful pandemic, a lot of things had to be put on hold. So I did not get a chance yet to teach using the code blocks. I'm not sure if I'll get to this year, but definitely with 8th grade next year, I will be able to get to the code blocks. So let's just focus right now on the 3D design. So I don't go to create. We actually go over to learn. And that's what I recommend. You need to go to the starters. And these are very basic starters. And they simply give you the basics of how to use the 3D. But to place it, to view it, to move it, to rotate, to size it up, group it, and align. So I assign this. This is the first thing I assign for the students. So they go through this so they get the basics. Then when I go back to the learn, there are actual lessons. Okay. So what I like to do for one of the very first lessons is I like to do this one here, the key ring. So I'm going to open that one. And it's a pretty simple little project to just get the students excited about this program. That's what I like about it. I just want students to be excited about technology. And this is one way to introduce 3D design without overwhelming the students right away. So that all they have to do is they can make a name tag to spell out their name. So they just click on it, the letters of their name, and drag it to the plate. So because we've used Google Drawing in the past, this is relatively simple for our students. Okay. So you just place it, and we talk about keeping it spaced. Now the big thing is you don't want the name tag plate to be too long compared to your name. So that's when we learn to left click and then drag it to control the size. So it's not too long if you have a small name like here. So, and we talk about all the different movements that you can do in this as well. And so as you can see, it's just a matter of clicking this dot here and left click and drag. Again, this is very similar to working with images and drawing tools in Google Drawing. So then the big key is, and this is probably the biggest step, is this is what's going to print. We don't want to print all those letters. So I teach the students how to left click and drag and select all these letters at once. And we press the backspace on your keyboard and it will delete. And then, here's how you can look at the different designs, because it's important for the students to learn the different views of the software. Okay. I have found the software to be very easy to use for everyone. And then that's when we export it, like I talked about in the last video, exporting it and making it an STL file for export to upload to your Google Drive or Google Classroom so it can be printed to the actual 3D printer. Now, I have had some students say that from other schools that the 3D printer, they're allowed to print. And that's great. If you have enough 3D printers to do that, that would be fantastic. But that's not an option for us, and that's not how I wanted to handle the printing. And so that's how we have it set up from school. So then it takes you to the next. So it takes you to the steps. And actually in this particular one, it will take you through the steps. Okay. But I just use it as a lesson and we just kind of do some fun and print with it. So I'm going to go back to the lessons as well. I show you that there are more there. So you can see there's all kinds of different lessons and it will walk you through to design the object. Then under Learn as well is projects. So this is another great one. I consider it the next level. So we have, we've just done the introduction to 3D primitive shapes. So we've done this first. And then we've done Let's Learn Tinkercad and the house. I haven't gone all the way to this one, but we have done those 3 projects, and they are, again, a nice step-by-step. And there are some more other possible lessons as well that you may want to use. And these are all just optional, as you can see. So it's a pretty extensive list. So it is at your discretion as the educator to decide what you want your students to do. Now, there's also Teach, okay? So there's free lesson plans for the teachers, which I think is wonderful. There it says manage your classroom in Tinkercad, so you can manage the classes, which I'll show you. There's a parent and your district, and there's lesson plans and professional development, which I think is really great because it helps you to learn more as an educator. So as far as your classes, I'm going to go into my actual school account. Bear with me for just 1 second. Okay, so I do have classes right there. I haven't done anything in the other account, but this count, I do have classes. They have improved this where it says new. It's updated on the update. It actually now has a better way for them to sign in. So, and to join a class. So you can actually see what they're doing and see their projects. So that's a nice and new addition that has been fairly recent. All right, so now back to this. So then I like to give students a chance to just design. So you just click on the little profile icon here and you click New. And in this, you get to design your own project. One of the projects I have used in the past, and I hope to do this year, is just to make a pencil holder. So one of the things they do learn is they do learn how to basically cut. So you have to just put in, it depends how far you want to go, your cylinder, okay? And you just put a hole, and it makes it into a hole. So that's one way you can do that. But that's a nice project I do. And don't forget up here, it's really important to change the name. It comes in from weird file names. It's best to have the students name it what the object is and put their name on it, so it's easier for you to find if you're printing them. Not, it may not be necessary. So I do think it's great for the students. Just they like when they get a chance to just explore and create their own things. Now the other thing is there's this gallery. The gallery is just absolutely wonderful. It has all kinds of things. So it goes on, and the students like to ooh and all over that. So I suggest, having them look at it, see what the possibilities really are. And they even have the circuits if that's something you plan to do, and the code blocks. Now the code blocks is using block coding to actually design something. So I thought that this was pretty awesome here. So I'm going to go into, this is my teacher account. The other one's an account with my personal stuff. Okay, so here's the code blocks. Okay, and it's right here. There's the nice little introduction right there. So I highly recommend starting that yourself as an educator. And I highly recommend the students doing this. So this is a new area that I like to explore. But if you've already been doing coding through like code.org or Codable, anything along that line, or any kind of robots, they all typically use the block coding. So this would just lead into it to a next step. So I would recommend doing that. I think just having a little coding experience first would be highly beneficial. So that's what we have in Tinkercad. I hope you find this to be informative. Thank you.